Okay. Good evening, sinners. We are back for another week of. Wait for it.
Dixit Dominus Domino meo, forgive me, Daddy, for I have sinned.
So we are at week 14 now. As all of you know, Melbourne is now back in lockdown for another 6 weeks. So another 6 weeks of shit content. Welcome. So this week we have a super special guest, a sister of the lash, but also a doctor, which is probably really fucking helpful in these situations. We have Aurum Argentum joining us. I'm just going to add her in because obviously we have to have social distancing.
I'm here.
Hello,
so good to be here. Literally, like as soon as you started doing this, I was like, I need to be in on this business because it's fabulous. But I will, just to clarify everyone for the record, I'd actually started making this before Greg started his show, though I would also, you know, if it happened after the fact, I would have been like, Greg, you're an absolute inspiration. Cheers, you entirely, that set me on this path to righteousness, blessed be.
We'll forgive you for the better outfit than I have. Fucking hell.
That's okay. There's a reveal just in case. I've got a reveal ready just in case the moment calls for it. But I'll my God, keep it all. Keep it all at the moment. Just I've got to wait for the opportune moment.
I mean, it's all about the moment. So tell me, how did you
get into this moment though, girl?
This is going to be a screenshot. Yeah. How come you already had an outfit for as a female pope? I don't know what you call those.
A peep. big ho peep. No, so I found this material at Spotlight on the clearance rack. Would you believe it? Why would they be throwing this stuff away? I don't know. But it just got me thinking. And yeah, did some drawing and started making stuff and cut it out. And I was like, oh yeah, fabulous. I can use that for something. And then I was like most of the way through finishing it, and then all the George Pell stuff happened.
Oh shit!
And like it was all coming out in the media, and all this stuff was happening, and I was like just looking at this outfit, and I'm like, that's going to need a 6-month break. I can't look at that at the moment. I don't think
could you imagine?
Don't think it's quite been 6 months, but like a lot else has happened in the interim, so I'm like, this is back.
Well, he was acquitted, wasn't he? Didn't he get away with it?
It's just going to make me mad. But yes, on a technicality, he got off. And he got off in other ways too, which are very, very much frowned upon, which is why he was in the position he's in.
We'll just label him a sack of shit and not forgive any of his sins.
Yeah, sins not forgiven, absolutely.
So let's get stuck into it. So we've got...
Okay. I'm going to be like...
Yeah, sure. Oh, honey, you on your phone? Yeah.
Yes, I am. That's all right. Because
I'll read it out for you.
Is shit. I haven't webcam since like 2013 when I was still a person.
Yeah, I'm one of those bitches who has to go all out. So I bought like shit that I'll never have to use again. But yeah, so what I'll do, I'll read out the confessions and then we can discuss them.
Okay.
So are we ready?
I can still see, but I'm going to have to be like,
yeah.
It's gin. It's gin. Don't worry. It's quite strong gin.
Well, we do love it. We have to have a drink. You have to drink during these things, otherwise you lose your mind. Because some of these confessions are just horrendous.
Some of you fucked up. Some of you I love all my children.
Well, I'm glad you do, because I don't. Okay, so let's get stuck in with confession number 1.
Stick into it. Get in there.
And it's a big one. Okay. For about a year now, I've been rekindling with old flings who screwed me over, i.e. making it seem like they wanted a relationship when they were just here for sex. And one by one, done the exact same thing to them by leading them on, getting their hopes up, and telling them all I was there for was the sex. Having the roles reversed is empowering, but I honestly don't think I've even learned from any mistakes.
Get a hobby. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I hate these people that feel that like you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to prove that and like the amount of time and energy that you put into doing this could be so much better used. And you've just said you haven't even learned from any mistakes. Like you've literally just wasted your own time. As long as you're aware of that, as long as you're aware that you've wasted your time, fine. But in future, don't waste your time. Honest to God, people don't learn. Why do you expect anyone else is going to fucking learn, girl?
This person is always also like they're wasting their own time, but everybody else's. Like an eye for an eye sounds fun, but it's not actually. It doesn't benefit anybody at all. The comments. Oh, so I think Sammy's saying, "Who has this much time to bother with this?"
Not me. Busy girl. Busy girl.
Well, we're in lockdown now, so maybe you do.
I was going to say, actually, in saying that, exactly, like so many people have so much more free time on their hands, but you can't meet up with them and do that like it's all for sex. Unless you're like Camden. You
could gaslight them and like, oh, that actually was a big issue during lockdown last time was, well, let's hook up and all that kind of stuff. And then lockdown ended and it was just fizzled out.
People suck, don't be one of them.
That's such good advice. My favorite is just do better. And I feel this is a perfect example of that. Expect better for yourself. Oh my God. Okay. Of course, Chad says sex worth it. Worth it, the effort? It's worth the effort, I think is what he's trying to say.
It depends who you're with, though, to be fair. Well, I mean, so clearly the sex with them was good enough that they decided they needed to get back at them for it. So, I mean, that's sad that you lost that. But, girl, there's plenty of dick in the sea. And plenty of D up my, that one.
How much dick is going to be out there after lockdown? There's going to be a fuckload. So I think I'm going to forgive the sin, but just do better.
Yeah, look, well, I might, like, how many, they said they've done it a couple of times now. And so it's like, I'd maybe forgive it if they started to learn, but I'm like, you haven't started learning yet. You've done it a couple of times. So I'm like, really pushing me a love here. Okay, don't do it again. Fuck off.
Well, it looks like actually reading it back again, they've done it for a year now. So actually, I take back my forgiveness. And I think this person just needs to do better.
Yeah.
All right. Then. Oh, Lordy Jesus. So I have to remind people these are not my confessions, but this person used a carrot as a dildo.
This one could be yours, Greg.
No, we've covered off dildos a number of times with sex toys in this stream. I think go and buy a set of dildo for God's sake. But this person used the carrot as a dildo because they were desperate, and the motherfucker got stuck in their anus, and they had to go to ER to have it surgically removed.
Amateur.
This is
try harder. But also like
3 foot 5 veg a day.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. Oh, try harder, but also don't try so hard.
Have you ever had someone come into
like you got to get your 2 and 5. But if it's lodged inside you, it still only counts as 1 veg.
But what if it sits in you for 2 days?
If it's stuck there for 3 days, it's not 1 veg every day. That's still just 1 veg. So you need to start shoving it in your other holes. Maybe by shoving the veg in your other holes, you then solve your own problem. Follow through.
Oh my God. Have you ever had anybody come in? Oh, your brother's here.
Oddly actions.
Yeah, your brother's on. Isn't that what people should be using their job keeping money for? Sex toys? Yes.
Yes.
Use your government funding. Get it. Hold on. Simon, Lady Diamond says, Lady Diamond says, do I need to set up a charity that provides free dildos?
Absolutely. Then Dawn won't be having this issue all the time.
Well, I mean, look, have you ever had anybody come in?
If you're watching, you know I love you, girl, but careful with your veg.
Dawn gets called out at least once a week. It's fine. She's used to it by now. I could forgive the sin, but I think, please, people, buy a dildo for the love of God. Like,
I hope they have Medicare.
Yeah, fuck. Could you imagine the bill? That would be horrendous.
Because I'm like, otherwise, you could be using public money on getting a dildo, but instead you're using public money to get a carrot out of your ass, girl.
I was.
I mean,
How
by
do
all
you get
means,
it?
it's the public money, but fuck me, use it
How
in
do
a
you
way
get
that's a
it
bit
so far up
safer.
there that it's stuck? It's
Your
horrendous.
health. Your health.
Wow,
Nice
it's a
and
good
healthy.
effort.
Nasty. Nasty.
It's all. Oh my god! Honestly, all of these confessions, there's some real filth that comes through. I quite enjoy it because it makes me feel like a decent human being.
It gives me sensations which I haven't had in a very long time. It's been a long
Feel
lockdown.
It's overrated.
Give me a little bit of a tingle in my Christian mingle, if you will.
Oh lordy! I'm gonna give this one. What do you think?
Oh, forgiven. Fucking just don't do it again.
Yeah, buy a dildo. There you go.
Get a bigger carrot so don't lose it. And it's a challenge. Because if it was bigger, then you wouldn't have lost it. Right?
Well, that's my thought. Right? It's like, how do you get a carrot so far up your ass you lose it?
Get something bigger so you're not going to lose it. And so it's a challenge. Work on it.
Oh my god. Just get a really big carrot. How's that?
Strap 2 carrots together.
Oh, vegetables. I don't know why people would insert them. So next confession is, if I run out of ciggies and can't be bothered going to the shop, I reach around the ashtray for a nice half-burnt one from earlier. I love the dual size in that. We're both just like, really, people?
So there are some things where you go, oh, I've been there, right? Like, you go, I have never been that fucking desperate. Like, my brain being all over the place. Never been that desperate for a dart that I've started fishing through the fucking ciggy barrels. How rank?
Funny story. Last week I was obviously.
That's a problem. Like, that signifies that you have a problem.
Yeah, it's an addiction. But I think last week I was on lockdown because obviously during the live stream I was still waiting for my test results, and poor Macrae had to keep running to the shops to buy me cigarettes. And even at that point, I was not desperate enough to go digging through my ashtray.
Well, you never would have left one half done. First of all, Greg.
No,
you never would have not finished one. There would be nothing happening around you where you're like, oh, better leave this one for later. The apartment's on fire. I'm like, well, it's still going to be on fire by the time I finish. Like,
where
do you think I'm going? I'm enjoying my dart. Thanks, Dull.
I think there's a difference here in that this person is obviously just lazy, whereas like some people they're doing it because they can't afford to buy more smokes. If that's the case, stop smoking. So some of the comments, just quit smoking if you're going to do this, from Aaron Paul Spencer. Agreed. Luke's tagging people. Sammy, no, just gross. Sorry.
Someone from your neighbour, just like hang your head out over the deck and like yell up to the decks above you. If anyone's got a ciggy, they can throw down to you. Just assuming you live in an apartment, because every fucking faggot in Melbourne does. Exactly
my point. Is you've obviously been in South Yarra and Paran, where all the apartment buildings.
You've been in South Yarra for long enough. You should know some fags around you.
Yeah, they're everywhere. We take over.
Thanks, fag.
Jay says, "Wow, I love to see how clean this guy's house is. I couldn't be bothered using Glen 20, so I use olive oil."
Oh, that's also a problem. Yeah. I don't know if I can forgive this. I mean,
yeah, it's laziness. I don't think so.
There are going to be so many where I'm like, fine, but don't do it again.
Sorry, Mum.
I guess that's where we're at. Like, fine, don't do it again.
Yeah, I won't forgive this. Laziness is a shit thing. Yeah. No, do better, people. Expect better from yourself, please.
Please try harder. Thank you very much.
Okay, next one. I fell off the podium and crushed a twink under me. We all know where this was. Guess you could call it murder on the dance floor. Oh my gosh.
Oh no!
I love this.
Been both the fallen twink and the crushed twink. I'm just like, I'm getting both happy memory flashbacks, but also PTSD.
Yeah, I've only fallen off those podiums a handful of times, And by a handful, I mean far too many. But I think the first time I did it, I fell off and I had a bottle of amyl in my hand because that's what you do.
Oh,
And I smashed the bottle,
no.
and it was all jagged on the top. And I like cut open my thumb because I was trying to hold the top of it.
Oh.
I was a fucking idiot at that point. So we're
Like,
getting.
I mean, we've been that way, like you drop it, but like your balance is not what it was.
No,
and
and
it's
at that
like,
point in the
like,
night,
see you later.
if you're drunk enough to get on the podium, you're too drunk to stay on the podium usually.
Yeah. You go up there accepting any and all risks, but you should not pose any and all risks to everyone else around you.
Exactly. Oh god, could you imagine me falling off one of those podiums onto somebody? That would be horrific.
What's underneath do?
Nothing.
Yeah. Because I'm like, is there like a basement? Because I'm like, you'd end up there. That's where you'd be.
No,
as long as there's nothing like necessary underneath. Doof. You're on it.
I mean, you can fall through the snap crackle pop floor and end up in a toilet.
That sounds like fun. Let's do that.
Hold on, let me get the keys. Let's forgive this. We've all done it. Everybody's been there. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, no, I've done that many, many times. You've never helped a twink in your life.
No.
Next time, land on Greg. There you go. Find a nice land on. Just land on Greg next time.
Yeah, land on me. It's nice. It's a good landing. Simon says, find a nice bed, land on. Max says, I'll be there to help the twink if they need help. Oh my god. That boy.
You can show them the way to the clinic. That's about
it. He's got his own express line now. Said,
get your 10th one free.
You can use my list at Dolph and Max list at the clinic. Natalie said, I didn't write this, but it's definitely happened to me. Aaron's ouch, that would have done more damage than hitting the floor. Yeah. We've all done it. It's one of those things. If there's a podium, someone's bound to fall.
Yep. I specifically don't stand next to them because I'm like, unless I'm trying to edge my way up, because I'm like, some twink off their face is going to land on me. And like, they'll just be like, oh, because, 30 pounds soaking wet, whatever. Oh, but
covered in sweat. It's going to slide.
I don't want the inconvenience. I just can't. Sorry.
How very dare they inconvenience your evening?
I beg your fucking pardon.
We've forgiven the sin.
Absolutely forgiven. Oh, shit.
So, we love the long ones, especially after I've had a bottle of wine. So, my friend got super wasted and bought a couple of grams of stuff, brought it over to my place to do during pre-drinks, and totally forgot all about it. Being the amazing friend that I am, I snorted it all to myself and told them the next day that we finished it all, when in reality, I still have some left in a bag, which I just save for when I'm in the mood to do that.
I'm so on the fence about this one because I've been both people. I've been the one that's like, oh, y'all forgot about this. Okay, fine. It's just found its way up my nostril. Imagine that. But I've also been like, yo, where is it? And they're like, where's what?
Yeah, what are you talking about? We never got anything.
I'm like, girl, you already had it all. Look at you, you fucking mess. Next minute.
Just chewing your face off. I agree with Mitch. Mitch says, what a greedy cunt.
Greedy, sorry.
I think, these things are meant to be shared among friends. So why would you just keep it to yourself? Craig's got a valid
point. Shared is a come down halved or some shit like that, right?
Oh, I've never heard that saying before. I quite like it. But no, don't overshare. Just kind of treat me.
I think Forgive Me, Daddy, for I've Sinned is the epitome of oversharing, just while we're on that topic.
Well, I mean,
you could not get more oversharing than this fucking channel.
Well, I mean, yeah, I didn't open the door to absolute mayhem, did I? Craig has said, you need better friends. Who forgets? Chad's shocked that anything is left over. Okay, so Gavin's got a really good rule. Gavin, the 24-hour rule. If it's still there after 24 hours, it's yours. But if it's under 24 hours, you need to get right with Jesus and give it back. To
be fair, okay, but yeah, to be fair, I've been, like you've been pretty hungover and come down you whatever, but like never so bad that I'm like $250, whatever, didn't matter that much. Never been that bad. So like if you're alive, you can go and sort your shit out and go get it back. To be fair, like
If you
try
can,
harder. In the words of Stacey Lane Matthews, that's a lot of fucking money.
But it doesn't stop us spending it, does it? I think we should go with the 24-hour rule.
I really like that.
Who would have thought? Sound advice coming from Gavin. Never seen that before. Sam Teal says, "Don't be dumb. Keep track of your gear."
I thought that said, "Don't be drunk." I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's also like 50% of the content. What are you talking about?
What else would one do?
Whoever has leftover stuff on the night out.
Never had anything left over. Sorry, got to use it.
Natalie's got a good point here as well. Anything left at Prees is the property of the client.
Absolutely. If you didn't want to take it with you and you don't get it within that 24 hours, relinquish your claims on it.
Yeah, I get.
Bye, Daggy.
Yeah, it was nice knowing you.
Bye, Daggy. You're like, wait, Daggy, come back.
Yeah.
Come back, girl, come back. Why are you away from me?
How dare you? I think, but let's not forgive this one. I think you went out of your way to rip off your friend.
Yeah, fuck that. That's rude. That's very
rude. But let's
rude.
all adhere to the 24-hour rule from here on out. What do you think?
I solemnly swear.
Preach. Well done. Okay.
Unless it benefits me.
So unless it's left at your house, yeah. Fair enough.
24 hours, we'll never fucking heard of that.
But does it count? Is it 24 hours from when you get home or when you leave? That's a good question.
Ooh, 24 hours from when you finish, because they'll probably be out later and messier if they've forgotten, right? So 24 hours from when you finish.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's a good rule of thumb for the whole community. Next confession. I'm straight, but I gave my gay friend a blowjob and got him to come in my mouth.
Okay, 1, yum.
Yeah.
2,
Merry Christmas.
2, nah. I mean, again, when it benefits me, I'm very happy to entertain the thought of a straight man, right? Because he's straight. And
but I mean, to be very honest with you,
you can be whatever you want, but give me that dick.
Yeah. When you got
like, if it helps you sleep at night and it gets me that dick, you're straight.
My point is though, it's like if you are if you are having interactions with another man, how straight are you?
Exactly. And like, I mean, we're very slowly sort of gaining momentum and like insight to getting to this point where people accept that it's a spectrum, right? Like your sexual interest is a spectrum, your gender identity is a spectrum. It's all a spectrum.
Yeah.
Shades of grey everywhere.
Yeah.
50 shades of them.
There's I've spoken about this a few times on the stream, and the Kinsey scale is a really interesting concept.
Oh, bitch, you gay.
I'm so gay. But the Kinsey scale as a concept is like from 0 to I think it's 5 or 6.
0 to 6. Yeah.
And I think that's really important to remember. But you know, are you calling yourself straight still because you're embarrassed about what you did? Obviously not if you're confessing it on a live stream.
I sound embarrassed. I'm like, she's very comfortable with the fact that she got some jizz up in her mouth, girl.
So this is my sister-in-law, by the way. Hello, Heather. Heather says, I'm vegetarian, but I eat steak. Valid point. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Heather.
Esteban, hey girl, says, if this straight man is in the live stream, please remind who you were again.
Of course.
Oh, she is insatiable.
Look, honestly, I would bet that most people watching the stream have had a straight man experience. Like, am I right?
Yeah, of course.
You'd have to. Like, you've gotten this far. There's got to be some straight man that's like, never done it with a guy before. Like keep a DL, dude. Blah blah. Whatever. I'm like, whatever. Show me your dick. So like, you 21. I'm like, I have such little interest in telling anyone that you're gay. I just want to say
I just want to get laid. Like that's it. It's
exactly.
not.
I'm like, I'm like, I don't even know who you are, let alone know anyone that we're mutual friends with. Like, who am I going to tell? I'm like the safest person ever. So give me that dick. Give me that
I love
dick.
it so much.
Get
How
out
often
now,
do you scream? Give me that dick.
Just stroke my hair. Stroke my hair while I'm doing it.
Stroke it or hold it. I don't think
Stroke
there's a sin here, but I think perhaps this person enjoys this experience.
I see no sin in the activity.
Yeah.
Get
Well,
doing
I mean,
that all the damn
activity
time.
would be-
No sin in the activity, but like, and I guess you can't sin someone for not yet being comfortable with their sexual identity. Like that's hard. That's a hard sell.
Exactly
Like, oh,
right.
you're not ready to come out? Sin. Like, in your own time, make your way out. No sins here. Have fun. Be safe. But hopefully soon you feel comfortable enough to come out to those around you.
Yeah, agreed.
And
Have
give
fun.
me that dick.
Stay safe.
And
Be,
give me
like,
that
respect yourself. Respect other people. And just see how.
Respect other people. Sorry, no, I didn't sign up for that one. I didn't sign up for respect. Sorry.
What? Okay,
Sorry.
well, this is a
That's a
beautiful
different
thing. You
channel.
can have differing opinions. I love this. Okay, great.
Don't respect me. Fuck me.
Yeah. Wow. They're not mutually exclusive, babe.
How dare
Okay.
you?
We've got a big one. A long
lovely.
one. Your favorite.
Lovely.
So I went home with a guy and really needed to poop. I didn't want him to know I was taking a shit, so I said I was taking a shower. Turned the shower on, and blah blah blah.
I'm
blah.
done.
Yeah, we had
My girl. Good
we
on
did
you.
so long without a shit confession. In my haste to get in the shower, so I'd come out wet and not take forever, I forgot to flush the toilet, let alone spray toilet spray. I go back to his room, not knowing anything is wrong, fall asleep with him. Next morning, I pack my stuff up and leave, only to receive an angry text message about taking a shit in the toilet and not flushing.
Okay. I don't know that I do that. So, flush, obviously, like just a bit of presence, but like, I don't think I would get mad at someone for not flush. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you've met someone hooked up, I'm like, I don't think I'm mean enough of a person to then be like, you didn't flush your pee. Like, flush it, get over it. Like, if it was good, and like, you know, you had a fun time, I wouldn't say anything. Clearly, it wasn't very good. So, improve your sex game and don't forget to flush.
Yeah.
But if
And
you're
also,
a memorable and they wanted a call back, they wouldn't have had a go at you. So really, you should be trying harder to flush and to have better sex.
well, maybe they did get a call back. We don't know. Like, they just got an angry text message. Like, I'm sorry.
Would you angry text message someone to flush their shit if you're like, hey, this guy's all right, I'm going to invite him back? You know what I mean?
I would. I'd be like, mate, you forgot to flush the toilet. I wouldn't say mate. I'd be like, you forgot to flush the toilet.
What would be an angry message?
No, it wouldn't. It would be like, are you a child?
Nah.
Yeah.
You brush your pit time, nah. Like, get that shit out of my shit, you hear? You look
Heather's got a really good point. You should have just waffle stomped it.
Woo!
Oh, do you know what waffle stomping is?
Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, well, it's where you got to use your big toe to like get it down the grate. And like my favorite part is like when you get that, you're like watching it and you get the like slow-mo time when you're trying to push it and it goes up between your toes. It's like happens in slow motion.
Oh, girl, I should not have given you a microphone. You're nasty. I didn't need that much detail. You should have just said, yes, I know what it means.
And you watch all of them get hard. You wait.
Yeah.
Everyone's at home under their like fucking gowns. Like,
Supposedly there's been a few confessions that have said that they masturbate to this, which is a little bit nasty, but you know, it's not the worst thing to do. Maddie says this is foul. Gavin hate fucking following the angry message.
Yeah, actually, well, if the dirt track's clean and you're real grumpy about it, just give them a hate fuck before they go home. You didn't fucking flush.
So after this live stream, we're going to be giving her a baptism because she fucking needs it. I'm going to forgive this one because I think that it was an honest mistake.
Yes, it was.
Fuck it.
What have we learned? Nothing. No one seems to learn anything from these.
No,
So
they just
do it again.
They listen, they pay attention,
Can I please read one?
They contribute, and then they forget everything.
Can I please read one?
What?
Can I please read one?
Yeah, read this one if you want.
Woo! Went to my nephew's 5th birthday party where he had a jumping castle with a ball pit inside. Me and my boyfriend at the time went off and hooked up in the ball pit inside the jumping castle while all the kiddies were off having cake and being general rat bags. Okay, that's fine there. One of the shitheads later asked why there was bird poop inside the jumping castle, and me and my boyfriend stared at each other in the horror and realised we'd forgotten to clean up after ourselves. Yuck! First of all, okay, my multi-level issue. Okay, did not have an issue when they were fucking in the jumping castle. Fine, get your rocks off. It's a little bit fun, a little bit nasty, whatever. Who is not either coming inside them or making sure you've got it all? You know what I mean?
It's
Never
a way.
miss a drop. Like, who is wasting this god juice? Who is not cleaning up and who's not catching it all or like making sure it's all there? Yeah.
Why would you okay, and I know my brother's watching this, but why would you waste it? I think it's offensive.
Right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Gavin said we need a poll. Was it jizz or was it shit? We can actually do a poll.
Oh no.
What
if it was poop? Oh!
Hold on. Wait.
What
I'm
if
gonna.
it was poop? Oh my gosh. Oh good, yes. Poll time. Was it jizz or was it poopy jizz?
Stop.
Girl, get into the fantasy. Poopy jizz, baby. It's probably most likely poopy jizz. Like, it sounds like he made it there. Like, he got all the way. Oh, these dice though. Oh.
Publish poll. There we go. All right. So there's a poll up. Those of you on Facebook should be able to.
I'm just so disappointed that someone's wasted cum. Like,
I mean, all of that hard work.
On a hands to my own God and myself, on a spiritual level, that pains me. Pains me, Greg. I'm going to lose sleep at night over someone that's just been like, oh, a little bit of cum, whatever. Mate, try harder.
I mean, obviously, if they're fucking at a 5th birthday party in a ball pit, they fuck a lot.
I'm like, you have at least like 7 holes that you could have gotten it in. Why have you not tried hard enough? Sin. I don't even care where it was. You wasted it. Absolutely.
So we're saying we're not forgiving this because it's a waste.
If I could bring myself to forgive this, I think I'd have to go and say some Hail Marys. Like, I can't. It's against my religion.
You should probably do some Hail Marys to begin with. Oh, Amina has joined us. Hello, Amina.
Hello, Amina. Welcome.
Maddie said a good pig bot wouldn't waste a load.
Good pig bot wouldn't waste a load. From the good pig bot himself, Maddie Lucas.
Interesting question. Can you read that?
Is Zach Vanity Cum Jar guy? I can neither confirm nor deny. But I will. The only thing that I will make clear is that I don't. Why would you waste it? Why would one waste?
It's also effective.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
So Chad thinks you've got to work for the sweet, sweet nectar, and then you work for it, but don't waste it.
Don't waste it. Oh, this has actually made me really. We need to move on. I'm actually quite upset.
We're not forgiving this sin. We're judging this sin. You need to do better, people.
What a fucking waste. What a fucking waste.
Oh my god. Do you want to read this one, or are you too busy crying?
I can't.
Okay. Before we read this one, everybody who's messaging and saying hello, can you make sure that you've liked it and you've shared it and you've
yes, please,
your face
please. I'm almost tempted to go to my computer, and I'm just going to pick up my computer and share it while I'm here. So don't just
do it. Why not?
I've not tucked.
She's had a few drinks. Go, we can see your asshole. Oh god. Okay, so I'll read this one out whilst you're liking and sharing. So
Liking and sharing while I'm working, busy,
I
active,
know.
mood.
You're
And I
just so
still would have to
productive.
drop. Still would miss it. Quick.
So this person sucked their friend off on the couches on the dance floor at a club. They didn't
Which
want
club?
to swallow.
I have no idea.
Oh, you're not going to like this. They didn't want to swallow, so they spat his cum on the floor, hoping people would just think the sticky wet patch was a drink that had been spilt.
Okay, so no one can see the floor. Like, and again, like, the reason that I'm like, well, girl, especially when you're out in drag, just wear your fucking clear click-clacks. Like, because nobody looking down. Nobody's looking down. Nobody cares, okay? They would not be like, oh, is that cum on the floor? Unless they've dropped their baggie and they're like, oh, what's that there? No one's giving a fuck what was on go. But I'm damn disappointed again.
Again, I knew you would be. As soon as I said I don't want to swallow, I was like, you're not going to like this. Mitch has a very valid statement. Mitch says spitters are quitters. Mark
110%.
says what a waste. I tend to agree. Like, also, think of the people who have to clean up this shit.
Troll. Absolute troll. I also just opened the stream and looked at myself from the side, and that's horrific. So I'm sorry, I'm not doing that again. I'm just going to share this, and then I'm going to close my computer and continue facing this direction.
This is why my camera's so far away, babe. It's a good.
I need to move back. The lighting's good, but the face is not. So it's like let's just jump over in that direction real fast.
So Natalie says this is why I avoid open-toed shoes.
Oh yes. And people who like complain about the drag queens with their biscuit basket toes with all their laser tights over the open toes. This is the sort of stuff that we're trying to avoid, okay? I don't want some, it's now, I was going to say warm jizz, but like everyone loves warm jizz. I don't want some like cold, stale semen sneaking its way between my toes. No, man, sorry. You like that? Is that too much? Am I too much?
I've never thought of it from that perspective. It's like you're just fuck.
Nasty.
Just swallow it. For God's sake.
Nasty. You little bit of nasty.
My issue with this is that they have put in so much effort to be sneaky about giving a blowjob. They put in the effort to like do.
Exactly. They got the load and then they wasted it. I'm like, is that not the best part? Though to be fair, some dudes loads nasty.
Which is what we've also discussed, and I think you chipped in on the other week. It's all about what you eat.
If it's there and you're like, well, not this one, maybe, okay, maybe. But I mean, you've gotten that far, so finish it off and go do a shot.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, just have a shot afterwards. A chaser. There you go. A follow-up.
Shot before, during, and after.
Oh my god, that sounds like a treat. Actually, I might have to line that up. I'm not going to forgive this because it's a waste, and also you make.
Sorry, not forgiven. I think it's already abundantly clear what my position is.
You've made it very, very clear, babe. Did you want to read this one?
Okay, sorry. Yes. Oh yeah, I get to read. Shade comes from reading. Sorry. I used to live all the way out at Hamilton. So just quickly, where is Hamilton?
I don't know. I think it's like.
Okay, so I'm like, so it must be a real long way away. So it is.
Oh,
okay,
wait, no. This is from somebody in New Zealand, isn't it? Southern Cross Station.
Girl, I don't know. It's anonymous. What are you fucking asking me for? Anyway,
I don't know.
I used to live all the way out in Hamilton. I would catch the train out to Southern Cross Station so I could go to friends' places and get wasted with them before we went out. Because the trains don't run 24/7 out to Hamilton, I always find a boy at a club to hook up with, so I had somewhere to stay after I was done at the club. I wouldn't have to spend hundreds of dollars on Uber home. Done it. Everyone's done it. That is not a sin. Congratulations on every single time finding someone to go home with. I love it.
Hold on. Every single time?
Every single time.
Oh my
Girl,
god.
how do you think I could afford the trips coming up from Tasmania?
I
I wasn't booking no Airbnb. I wasn't
thought
up in no motel, bitch.
I thought you were paying like $49 on a Jetstar flight and staying at some bumhole hotel for like $50
She was
a
on
night.
some couches and in some beds, darling.
You slept? Really? I'm shocked.
Slept, slapped, slopped, and then got back on the plane.
I'm just gonna send
Unreal.
this to you.
Okay,
You can
so
have this.
I don't have a cross. Oh, that's the only thing I don't have. But I do
Mine's-
have a reveal.
Yeah, oh, you got it. Yes.
There we go. That was the time. There we go. I found the time. There we go. That was it. Nature was calling me. So
We need
there
to
we
get
go.
you like a crucifix necklace with this bedazzle. And you can wear that next time.
Ooh, that's fun. Hey.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, what's everyone
I don't
saying?
see a
So,
there's not a sin.
Jackson says,
Any
any
twink ever turns into a six. It's me. Hello.
Nat says, I've saved so much accommodation money on holidays doing this.
Yes.
Mitch, pretty sure I'm fallen victim to these before. Maddie,
Not
also.
anymore, bitch, because I actually have a house. Sorry, baby. Oh my god, Matt.
Oh, Maddie. Yes, fair. Nick says, isn't Hamilton like near South Australian borders? Economical queen. Okay. So now we know where Hamilton is.
I still have no idea.
I don't know where Hamilton is. I'm not from Victoria anyway.
Slap, slopped. Absolutely.
Mitchell. Jesus Christ. Craig says, but also, how early are you leaving that the trains haven't started? Just go to Revs. Craig, I'm going to interject here. Craig, you never go to Revs for more than like an hour, maybe 2 tops, and then you fuck off home and leave the rest of us looking like...
Sorry. Maybe 2 or 3 tops before he decides to leave.
I didn't say that.
Am I wrong? Is that naughty? Am I wrong?
You're definitely naughty. I don't think you're wrong.
I don't think I'm wrong either, having been one of the 2 or 3 tops.
Is there anybody in this chat that you haven't fucked? Like, I'm just...
Sammy.
Sammy's... Yeah, okay. It's a short list, but it's a list. Okay, next
it's much quicker just to say who I haven't, so Sammy.
Yeah.
Actually, quite a lot I haven't. I'm an exotic treat, darling. Exotic treat.
You're not exotic. You're from fucking Tasmania. Calm down.
I'm exotic.
So next confession. Got done for not tapping on a tram one time. I only managed to get off the hook because I told the cute AO I would give him a blowjob if he didn't write up a report for the Department of Transport. And instead, let me off with a warning. He was cute, but he's a pig because he's an AO.
I mean, I don't think there's a sin here. I'm just disappointed that she didn't get that nut in her gut.
Jesus. I'm done. I'm out. I'm gonna see you later. Like, you know.
I mean, isn't that sad? I got half chub, right? And then completely wasted on this. Like, you got me going and then let me go. Like, man, you should have hammered up. No one knows who this is. Ham it up. Say you sucked his dick.
Yeah. Well, we don't like actively, you know.
We don't encourage false claims on this channel. We like to uphold, justice, decency, and honesty.
I just put up
under
a poll.
the eyes of God. Sorry, I just realized I didn't shave my bits.
Let it all hang out. You're a European woman. It's fine. So I've just added a poll.
Exotic, I told you.
I've added the poll that says nut in the gut. And also the previous poll about poop or jizz. 88% of people thought that it was jizz. 12% of people thought that it was poop.
I'm still on the train of poop jizz. I think it was both. A little bit of both.
Also,
a slight discoloration.
Oh, you nasty.
Okay, I'm sorry. I hate myself.
Yeah. So we're going to move on. We'll go to the next confession.
Got high and drunk and shat on my friend's Persian carpet. I think... wait, hang on. Got high and drunk and shat on my friend's Persian carpet. I then blamed it on their dog. Okay. Is it? How big is the dog?
Well, I mean, how big's the person?
How big was your shit, basically? Like if it was like oops, then you could probably have gotten away with it. Like if it was quite obviously a human-sized diarrheal pool, if you will, that was dumb, girl.
I just how do you take a shit that you can blame on a dog?
I have literally I've seen some Great Danes and their shits, which can be quite prolific, but none of them ever come close to me, girl. Let's just say that.
I think this is hilarious. I'm shocked that your friend believed you, but also
yes. No, actually it never said the friend believed them.
True. That's a very good point.
I think if your friend believed you, then no sin, because the sin's on your friend for being that fucking stupid. If your friend's like, oh yeah, probably wants a dog, like, dickhead. Sorry.
Fucking idiot.
However, if you left any bags behind, even if it's within the 24-hour rule, you should probably leave it for them. As recompense.
We need to do another poll. So I think the poll is do we honor
poll.
The 24-hour rule.
No. Actually, let's employ the 24-hour rule a different way. If it's 24 hours and they don't accuse you, absolved.
Hold on, what? So
so you blame it on the dog, okay? If you go 24 hours and they have not redirected the blame at you, absolve the sins, because they are clearly like, either they believe you or they're like, man, I'm not calling this shit out, whatever. So you're absolved either way. If it's after 24 hours, I'm like, girl, we were over it. Day after the day. Sorry.
I said, would you believe it? Wait, hold on. Where the fuck am I? There we go.
There are some dumb fucking twinks on this channel. Like, I expect they would. I'm
not saying a word on that. Because okay.
Having been the dumb twink on this channel, whatever.
Just once or twice. Just once or twice. Did you just go from gin to wine?
No. Yes. It's
welcome
all I have left.
This is gonna go downhill super fucking quick.
It already has. I joined the stream. Oh shit.
We got a long one. The long ones are great, especially the further through the stream they are. So,
okay, let's go.
I got really drunk over margaritas with a boy and went back to his place for wine. We thought his younger sister was out at work, so I'm blowing him on the couch, and in walks his sister, who sees me going down on her older brother. We take her to the bedroom, which is very polite of you, and I think I'm never going to see the sister again. Anyway, I'm at work typing this now, and all of the customers to walk in, it's my hookup sister from last night. I'm trying to get someone else to serve her, but no one else is available, and she recognizes me as the boy who she caught sucking her brother's dick from last night. Whole time we're making small talk about weather and both avoiding each other's eyes, talk about pure awkward.
So, if this was a porno, right?
As it normally is, yes.
If this was a porno, the sister would have joined in. So, sin on the sister.
Would she have joined in or complained about you doing it in front of the salad?
Really, guys? She, like, for some reason, at nighttime walks in with a salad and goes in front of my salad. Oh.
Yeah. Or maybe it's like she's brought home after a big night.
I would make vigorous, unapologetic, aggressive eye contact with her and collect that last little goblet of cum off my lip that I decided to leave there.
Oh, I'm not going to tell this story, but like, yeah, okay.
Tell me.
No, I don't share in this group. This group is all about other people sharing. It's great.
Fine.
So my sister said,
sin. You are a man of sin.
I do not sin. I'm above that. I'm kidding. I do sin far too often. But my sister-in-law Heather says, dig a hole, crawl in it, wait till she leaves.
All about a hole. Fall down a hole. Love a hole.
Gavin,
Love a hole, girl.
Gavin says this isn't the kind of porn he's watching. Fair. Gavin, we all know what kind of porn you're
Let's be
into.
honest. There must be some fags in here that have like watched straight porn for the guy. Like I can't be the only one.
There's also what I like to call like the late night porn effect, which is yes.
You honestly, you tell me now that you could not tell me that you haven't watched like straight porn for the guy. You tell me you have.
I grew up in a very heterosexual house. Of course, I
grew
watched
up making straight porn, bitch.
Yeah, like I watched straight porn just so I could see the dude. I'm not mad about that. Like,
but do you still? Right? But do you still? Do you still watch?
No, not now.
No.
No, I'm way too gay for that. And most straight porn actors also do gay porn.
I would say most. I'd say some.
The good ones.
Yeah, all right. Let's go with that.
Also, the porn effect, the late night porn effect, is when, and I've spoken about this with my friends a number of times, is when it's like you're going at it at home by yourself, and you're on like Tumblr or Twitter or wherever it is, or Pornhub, and suddenly you're in the depths of some dirty, disgusting porn.
You go down some deep dark hole, and then you finish, and your screen goes black, and you catch your own reflection, and you're like, ooh.
It's not about. It's also about the point where, like, you finish and you look at what you were looking at, and you were like, "What is wrong with me?"
I'm here now. Oh God, why am I here?
Yeah. So the poll is going to be, you experience.
Spin on the sister.
Yeah.
Sister should have had some games. You should have been like, I would have honestly. I cannot say that I've ever witnessed my brother in the act. Thank fucking God. Like one of the small mercies in my life. But if I had ever like come upon that scenario, you best believe I'd be paying him out about it for the next 2 weeks. He would know all about it for the next 2 weeks.
Of course he would.
So sister's got no game. She's not funny. Sin on the sister.
Do you know? I've actually got a twin brother as well, and so thank God I've never been in that situation.
Could you imagine? I'd be fucking mortified, but then I would also be like,
I don't want to imagine either. So we're going to forgive this person's sin, but we're not going to forgive the sister. The sister shouldn't have walked in.
Yeah, no, fuck the sister. Don't fuck the sister, but fuck her.
Don't fuck the sister. You're gay. Stop it.
My turn.
Your turn. Go on.
First time I ever drank alcohol, I stole a bottle of my older sister's gin that she had for over a year and never opened it. I hope she wasn't saving me something special. Sorry. Not realizing you had to mix gin with tonic or sofa water. Sofa water sounds horrific. Sofa water is like what you squeeze out of your pads at the end of a night and drag. That's sofa water. I did straight shots of it and almost died, of course. You think I would have learned my lesson the first time? No. Before hitting the clubs in Melbourne, I did the same thing because I ran out of mixers and my hookup had bought over expensive gin for me the week before. I shotted half the bottle before heading out and didn't even last an hour at the club before dying in some random alleyway and waking up the next morning. I now cannot touch gin without wanting to be sick.
Serves you right.
I mean, like, gin and tonic is like one of the things that like is a go-to, right? Which is effectively like gin and bubbly water. So like in a pinch, just put some water in it, girl.
Yeah, just imagine it's bubbling.
Yeah. You gotta use imagination, picture the bubbles. Or it's like you've left it out for so long because you were busy doing other drinks and it's gone flat.
I hate gin. I can't stand it. It tastes really metallic to me. But I've done this with vodka. Oh, girl. Weirdly enough, that's not the worst thing you put in your mouth.
No, it's not.
So Heather, my sister-in-law, says, once stole a bottle of vodka from my mum and dad's alcohol stash as a teen. It was water. My sister had already been in and replaced it. I've done it so many times. So I grew up with two brothers. Matt is on the chat at the moment, and my twin brother Kurt. And the amount of times that I would go to steal alcohol from my parents, and one of them had already like swapped out a bottle of vodka or something else within the alcohol cupboard, and I'd turn up to a party and I'd literally just have fucking water. which is probably why I'm such an alcoholic now, but that's fine.
I mean, there's many reasons for that, Greg, and I don't think we have enough time to get into them now.
I've got a therapist for that. Calm down.
Yeah, I charge 80 an hour. Just kidding, it's 120.
Oh, well, no, it's called health insurance, darling. Everyone should have it. Okay, so dropped my packet of cigarettes in the club toilets. They soaked all the way through, and I know that because I tried to light them and they were beyond saving. You need to go fuck yourself.
Okay, so but is it worse that? Is it okay?
Let it process.
Is it worse that? Is it worse that they've done this, or old mate that was trying to fish out the half-done ones? Like, what's worse?
I think it's worse that you've done this.
But okay, but hear me out. It's nasty, but like, remember that guy who like dropped his bag of drugs in shit? It's did you drop your ciggies in shit, or did you drop it just in toilet water? Because like, if you tried to light a poopy ciggy, you need to die. That's off this earth, like off the charts level of disgusting. However, if it was just a little bit of toilet water and you had a crack, fine, okay, sin's forgiven. Like, you don't knock it till you've tried it. Just like you gotta have it a go, whatever. Just like get a drag queen to like sit it up under their wig and steam it out, and then she'll be fine.
I just done another poll. So I've just done a poll of the kids, and I said, what's worse? Toilet smokes, meaning the cigarette packet that you dropped in the loo, or ashtray seconds, which is
toilet smokes. They're all going to be on the toilet smokes.
Of course, as they should be. That's the only right thing, the only right answer.
Yeah.
I just think it's poopy cigarettes, Sean thinks.
Poopy ciggy. Oh, fucking funny. You're so lucky to have me on here, girl.
Courtney is if it's just toilet water, I mean, they're not cheap. Oh, Court.
Girls on my page.
Oh,
like 42.45 for a 25 of menthol ice blasts.
Yeah, how much is your dignity worth, babe?
Extortion, honey. How much? Who's gonna know? If you're like, oh man, fuck, I had my cigarettes in my pocket and I sweated through my ciggies, I can't smoke them. Don't have to tell anyone. It's toilet water. I've sweated through a pack of ciggies. You ever seen how much I sweat when I'm having a good time, girl?
Yeah, same, babe, same. But I think
they're gone.
Mitch has got a valid point. Have you ever tried to light a wet ciggy? Yeah,
I have. It's very depressing, but you learn real quick. However, I've never tried to light a poopy ciggy.
No, I'm not a poopy ciggy fan either. So let's next one.
Okay, go.
I like to make my boyfriend my bitch while we're having sex. I can just see you getting excited. I make him ride me until he's screaming my name and comes all over himself. I then make him eat his own semen while I watch, and he blows me with a mouthful of his own cum.
This is me. This must have been me. I forgot.
We then finish off things by snowballing and making out, passing each other's cum between our mouths. And when I propose to him very soon, it's going to involve cum in some shape or form because I know he loves everything to do with my cum. My
man!
Netflix need to make this into a TV show because this is romance. This is a 2020 romance novel.
This is fucking 20th century romance. Abso-fucking-lutely. Do they have a Twitter I can follow?
Of course. You're on Twitter, like gay Twitter?
I am.
I call it gay Twitter because gay Twitter is like a subset of Twitter where everyone
there's
has
gay Twitter, there's black Twitter, and there's Karen Twitter.
Yeah, but like gay Twitter is like everyone has a different username where they follow all the porn accounts.
Yeah.
And like it's pure smut. So it is romantic.
It's very romantic.
I also want to know who this is. The beautiful thing is we don't have to try very hard. We just have to wait for them to get engaged, which is going to be very soon.
But do they have threesomes is my question.
They will when you're done with them.
Under his eye.
Mitch is getting all hot and sweaty reading this.
Zach, I am.
You are. Sorry, I've had a few ones.
My neck's getting all red.
Yeah. Aaron says this is true love. Get jar of cum jar guy and hide a ring in the bottom.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
I love that. That needs to happen.
Love that. And then no, but he has to. The way he has to propose is like trying to like get him all into the cum thing. It's like, babe, I've saved a jar of cum for you, and then gets him to hold out his hands and like pours all the cum out into it, and then there's a ring. Then the ring lands in his hand. Is that not romantic?
This is beautiful. I approve. I fully approve. There is no sin here. This is true romance.
No sin. This is romance. Oh.
And I actively encourage. Aurum's getting all hot and sweaty under that whatever you're wearing.
Called a fighter.
I think this is approved. It's not a sin, but we approve it and encourage it.
Approved. With arms wide open. My turn.
Your turn, darling. Go on. Away you go.
Got an anal fissure from taking a McGurthy.
Oh my god.
Went to the hospital as it wouldn't stop bleeding, and dropping kids off at the pool was a nightmare. Brother saw me, doc at RMH, so that's how I came out to my entire fam, and I ghosted McGurthy for the 4 months it healed. I have multiple issues with this. Clearly, not enough communication between the top and the bottom about what's going on. Fissures will bleed, like, unless you're hemorrhaging, like, just stick it out, girl. But you should probably see someone. I don't think it needs to be a hospital, but you should see your primary care physician. Your brother should not be seeing you as a medical professional because that's classed as a conflict of interest, and that's unprofessional. Ghosting McGurthy, I mean, whatever. He doesn't sound like he had enough of your interest at heart when he was. You look after them, like prep them. Don't fucking drive it too hard. Like you should get enough of a sense of somebody's,
limits.
Hole, yeah. You say limits, I say hole. I say limits, you say hole.
It is what it is.
No, so sin on the top for not being in tune with their bottom. Number one. Sin number two on the brother for seeing him at the hospital because he shouldn't. And I want to sin something else.
Was it 4 months?
No,
Is 4 months a long time?
Come to me. I'll get there. There's at least 2 sins in this, but yeah, none on you being the bottom.
Because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because you're the healthcare professional. But do fissures take 4 months to heal, or is that somebody not looking after themselves right?
I mean, there's probably an element of that. They shouldn't take that long to heal, but it depends on the depth. And if you're going 2 weeks and you're still getting pain, you're still getting bleeding, I'd get a second opinion from someone because they shouldn't take that long to heal. And if they are, it's obviously like a access point for infection, but also you're setting yourself up for more long-term issues. So I'd probably, if you do have an anal fissure, make sure you have a regular diet and you're trying to make your stool not so hard so you're not straining as much when you go into the bathroom. And I'd probably, like, if you do have it, obviously abstain from sex. Like, don't just go like, oh, I should be right. But if it's going on for a long period of time, you should be seeing someone about it.
So the symptoms for anal fissures are light bleeding, right?
Say again.
The symptoms for anal fissures are light bleeding.
You'll get spotting on toilet paper, but you'll also get significant pain with any stretching of the anal orifice, if you will.
My favorite. Okay, cool. So there you go. If that's happening to you, make sure that you're going to get checked, speaking to your primary healthcare physician. This person.
I'm really emotional because that's the first time I've actually been useful. We're over an hour into this channel, and I'm like, the whole talking point was like, oh my god, joking, but they're also doctors. I'm like, this is the first time I've been useful in the entire feed.
I would argue that.
This is what I was waiting for.
I've heard the stories. You're very useful. It's fine. I agree with you in this situation. There's 2 key issues here. The first one is this top obviously isn't paying attention, isn't giving you the attention that you need. The second one is
I hardly know her.
the second one is like your brother should not be seeing you at the hospital. Good question. Simon says, what qualifies as McGirthy?
Depends on the person. So like, I don't know if this happens with anyone else, but
Oh, here we go.
humble brag. I'm like, if they're bigger than me, that's hung, right? To me.
Stop! I love how that's your fucking unit of measurement. If they've got a bigger dick than me, they're hung. Girl, like.
And so in answer to your question, Lady Diamond, McGirthy is anything girthier than myself.
That's a great unit of measurement. I don't even know.
It's an absolute correct. And if anyone would like to check the imperial scale against no, never mind. Keep moving. We're just going to ignore that.
If anybody wants to check that unit of measurement, there will be images available on the website. I love this.
I will not be linking my Twitter.
I've got it. I'll share if anybody wants it.
I hate you. Of course you do. Doug.
You don't have mine though, so that's fine. I don't.
You're the one that keeps liking all my stuff, babe.
Of course, darling. I support a girl. I support sisters when they need supporting. Always.
Okay, sorry. So sin on McGirthy for not paying attention to his bottom, and sin on the brother for seeing his brother at the hospital.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
But I would also say, well done on making sure you went to the hospital.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Being aware when something's wrong is important.
Oh my god, how many more of these do you have? So I asked an old man in a Mercedes on Melbourne Road for a lighter. He handed me a jetty. He goes, "Sorry, it's a jetty." I responded with, "Oh mate, where's the glass barbecue?" And he proceeded to hand me his crack pipe.
Sorry, you're gonna need to inform me. What's a jetty?
I think it's like one of the gas stream lighters.
Where you like hit it and it keeps going.
Yeah, and
so
it's like
hold it, that thing?
it's a gas thing rather than a Bic lighter.
Okay.
Like you pick it. Like yeah. I think I used to have one just because I thought they were cool when I was like 18, not because of the glass barbecue. I will interject here and say that
I don't think there's a sin here.
no.
I don't think. I mean, if he was like, "Mate, come hit up the glass barbie with me," probably don't offer strangers to get into your addiction. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a sin. It's just like, oh, that's a bit nice. Okay, he's very open about his activities, and fine. But I am strongly opposed to anyone directly like engaging someone or involving them in significant activities of drug use. Yeah,
agreed. I see the humor in this, but I also refuse to see humor in that drug use.
I think it's difficult because it's not usually talked about very much in the community. Like there are a lot of people that actually use meth and other such drugs in social environments, in sex environments, when they go clubbing. And I've had some close friends and some not close friends who have sort of teetered down that path. And what's difficult is one, often they're not in a place to recognize that what they're doing is significantly wrong, or they recognize it, but they're not in a place to accept and not do it because of whatever else is going on in their life. And I think if you're in a position where you become aware of a friend doing this, or someone approaches you with it, or whatever the situation may be, I think having seen people ruin their lives really with this sort of thing, like it's a hard thing to talk about because
it is hard to talk about.
Having seen it go wrong,
something that has to be talked about.
It's really hard, and I think you don't have to be close to the person. You don't have to know them overly well. It might come off as abrasive or intrusive if you say something, but I think if you know someone well enough to be privy to them demonstrating that sort of activity with you, I think you have a responsibility to check in with them.
Yeah. So the people who are close to me, not and even people who aren't close to me, I understand a lot of drug use, and I think that's it's your choice as an adult. I think I know for me the borderline there is, and I see Simon's comment here about it's hypocritical to demonize one substance but take others with abandon. I would push back on Simon, and I would say that for me, the substance is irrelevant. For me, where I draw the line,
it's the impact on functionality. It's the impact on functionality.
And as soon as you are choosing a substance over your own well-being or people you care about's well-being, that's when you have a problem. And that's when people around you, their duty of care is to step in and be like, I see what's happening. I want to be supportive and I want to help you. Because people in that environment don't realize, right? They don't realize that they're being self-destructive and ruining whatever is going on in their lives. And I've had friends. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, obviously, there are certain substances that are of greater concern, not only because of their addictive nature, but also the side effects and the outcomes of use. But, I mean, again, like as I've said, I've noticed people who have had issues with meth, heroin, like that stuff. But I also know a lot of people that have had issues with alcohol, with MDMA, with sex. Like the substance or the method of abuse is not the issue. It's being able to identify within someone that you're at least close enough to realize they have a problem, because sometimes they won't recognize it themselves. And like
times they don't recognize it themselves, and that's when
exactly. And like
I've had friends,
especially with things that are more accepted, especially with alcohol and with things like MDMA, like because it's something fun, there aren't the connotations with it. Like it's very easy to miss someone who has a problem because they're just having fun with friends, they're just going out, and like I mean that's it, isn't it?
I want to draw attention to the comment below. As someone's been very self-destructive, it's not fun, and everything you say is 100% accurate. I think we have a community of very shady, a very shady environment. We take the piss. We're very mean to each other because it's funny. But this is one thing that I do not have any give on. Like if I see somebody choosing something over their own well-being and their own lives, then I will 1,000% step in, and I have done multiple times, and I would not being a cunt and not being a bitch about it.
Absolutely.
But the step in is, I see what you're doing. I see the impact it's having. How can I help you?
Absolutely. And like and there have been times where I've become aware of this behavior and it's been too late. You know what I mean? And like what I don't understand is how there are people within the position that they can see what's happening and not be able to do something about it. Like
I think some people have the capacity within their own mental health to deal with it, which is no blame on them. Like everybody's fighting their own struggles. But I think, if someone was to come to me and said, hey, Greg, this person I'm really worried about, of course, I'm going to touch base with that person and see what's going on and make that decision for myself, right? Like just because you don't have the ability or capacity to deal with it doesn't mean somebody else doesn't. And I think as a community, like there is a lot of improvement for us, or areas of improvement in this instance, right?
And you don't even have to physically handhold someone to get through something. All you need to do is help them see a primary care physician and say, I have a problem with my mental health. This is how it's manifesting. They will get you a mental health care plan. You have 10 free sessions that year with a mental health professional. Like you need, all you should do, like, I mean, it's difficult. You can't necessarily put the blame on any individual for not doing something when someone goes wrong, because it's like a Swiss cheese model. Like there are things that go wrong all the way along the way.
To be very clear, like I would never ever put judgment on someone for not being able to look after somebody else. Like I understand I understand 100% capacity and your ability and energy to be able to look after other people.
Yes.
And I, like Maddie's made a comment here, and I appreciate that, Maddie, because this is one of the things that I really enjoy about the work that I do on the weekends. And even when I'm not working, like my duty of care there is to make sure that everyone is having fun. And as soon as I see people being self-destructive, and that is the tipping point for me. If you're self-destructive and putting that drug or that substance or that environment above your own well-being, that's when I'll step in. And there's another comment here. Gav says, I often think in the gay community specifically, it can be hard to note addiction or substance abuse because we look around and our peers are drinking the same amount, doing the same amount. It's starting to note and identify as an addiction as opposed to the amount or frequency. So I'd love, like Zach, I'd love to hear what are your identifiers for addiction.
Say again, sorry.
What would your like red flags be in terms of seeing someone with an addiction?
So, I mean, medically, the definition of addiction is where your behavior overrides whatever you're normally doing to gain access to what you're doing. So people that are not looking after themselves as well, so skipping meals, issues with coming up with money for certain things because they're favouring these other things are an issue. I know, I mean, you can see people...
I'll just backtrack and say, to make that relevant, if someone, for example, is buying a bag over paying their rent, that's a red flag.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, you can have people that are very financially sound who do it for fun and are very aware of what they're doing. But I mean, it's hard to just say like, this is how you recognize someone with an issue. But like, it's a sense, like, like if you're not close with someone, it's hard to then infer something. But when you see someone repeatedly who's in a certain state or seems to be doing certain things, and I'm trying to find a way to describe what you see, but it's difficult. Like you just get a sense, like I've seen lots of people who it's instinct. Like I've seen lots of people who have fuckloads of drugs and they do this very frequently, but they're okay.
Yeah.
Greg, I'm trying not to make eye contact with you, but you're making it really hard. You're looking straight into the monitor, babe. Like I can't help you.
This is recorded.
Yeah, and I'm going to go look back and I'm going to be like looking straight in your eyes. I'm like, you're people that do fuckloads of drugs all the time, Greg. Do you happen to know any of them? No, but it's I don't know.
I think to be clear,
you get a sense like
drawn between like having fun and enjoying yourself and sacrificing your own well-being and the well-being of people around you and your livelihood. So absolutely. I think if that is the case with the people I'm gonna pop up later on tonight. I'm gonna pop up some links and some kind of support.
Absolutely.
Addresses. And also like I'm also here if you need to chat. And I know Zach, you've made yourself available to many people as well. Absolutely. So if this is a concern for you or your friends, talk to people. Have that conversation and kind of figure it out because there is lots of avenues available.
And I think, I guess, now that I've thought about it, like what I would consider as behavior of concern is like if you are seeing someone doing behavior that like would not sit well with yourself, like if you had someone inform you that you were doing that every weekend, if it would make you uncomfortable, I would say something.
Yeah.
So if you were seeing someone doing something repeatedly that would concern you if someone told you were doing it, I think that's enough. And like it's difficult in the scene because we all know each other, and I think there's this thought that you're all friends and you're all really close, and because you're seeing each other in this scene environment, and that was something that I had to come to terms with because I was coming away just for weekends away and like towards my 4th and 5th year of uni and like my internship when I was coming over, I started to gain a sense of like, there are people that I see frequently in the clubs that I love and enjoy spending time with that are not my friends.
Yeah.
And that's not a read and that's not something that negates them. but there are people around you that love you and respect you, but they're not your friends.
Yeah, I think I'll jump in and say, obviously I've worked for venues and things for a number of years, and someone, a beautiful human, when I first started working at the club that I work at, pulled me aside and they said, there's going to be a really obvious difference for you that you need to remember when you look at who are your friends and who are the people you know. And the people you know are the people that you see every weekend and you like say hello to, you give a kiss before Corona, obviously.
Absolutely.
The people that are your friends are the ones who make time for you. They're the ones that reach out to you without wanting anything. And they're the ones that will spend time with you, going for dinners and drinks and whatever else outside of that environment. And those are the people who are in the best position to see that change in behavior.
Yes.
And they're also the best people to jump in and say, that's not okay and that needs to be addressed. Yeah.
And no, I realize we spent a lot of time on this, but I think it's incredibly important because it's something that you see so frequently, and it can very easily be missed as someone having a good time by someone just letting loose and having. I haven't classified myself as ever having a specific issue, but there have been times where my behaviour, as someone looking in, would consistently have said they're not okay.
Yeah.
And I would never blame someone for not saying something to me. But like looking back, if I was that person, I would have done something. But I will never blame someone for not saying something because it's not your job to hold someone's hand. It's not your job to teach someone the life lessons they need to learn, because sometimes you need to fucking fall over and fuck up to learn. And that's hard. That's fucking hard.
Yeah.
But there are times where I wish I could have gone back to some of my friends and been like, I know you have a problem, or I can see that there's an issue and I should have been there to help.
Yeah. And I would support your statement in saying, as I said before, like it's if you have the capacity to, if you have the ability emotionally and energy wise and everything else, if you have that ability, your duty of care is to take that step and raise it. Don't. That's understandable as well, because there is days and weeks where everybody is in a position where they're barely holding on, right? They're just processing what they can process and they don't have the bandwidth. That's understandable as well. But if you do have that capacity, make that step.
Absolutely.
I loved tonight's chat. Like, I think we've really dug into some really interesting conversations. As I said before, I'm going to pop up some support links, some phone numbers and websites that are really useful in terms of substance abuse and that kind of thing. We've been going for an hour and a half, so I think we'll let everyone go back to their regular viewing.
Sorry, everyone, but I think I feel very strongly about this, and I'm very glad I had the opportunity to talk through it. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Also, because everyone's opinion is valid, but I really appreciate your opinion in terms of like your profession. And I think that talking about it is what needs to happen, because if you don't talk about it, it gets swept under the rug. And Aaron just said his comment. Where's my clicker? He said, this conversation needs to be had more often, and it's important. It is. Yeah.
Everyone's a role model. Do you remember being 18 and seeing someone who was 25 or someone who was 30 in the scene?
Yeah.
Having grown up with not seeing anyone, it's like seeing someone who's made it, like their opinion mattered like at that point mattered so much to me. And like I'm gonna say people's names: Polly, Lexi, Simon, like because I'd met you all, like all of you are the reason that I started doing drag, but also having that positive exposure and people that looked out for you. They never jumped on you and told you X, Y, Z, but having people there makes an absolute difference. 110%.
And as I said before, if you have the bandwidth, then it's your responsibility to follow suit, right? Because there's a lot of shit that happens in our community that we don't talk about that needs to be talked about. and I've loved tonight. Like tonight has been probably one of the best conversations in terms of real talk. But as I said, like let's let everyone get back to the evening.
Yes,
will
let's
follow up
talk
with
about
you.
more cum. Bring me some cum. Have me some cum.
Zach,
Get
thank
really
you so
emotional
much.
talking about cum.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Like I really appreciate your insight and input. I really want to do this again.
Are we still doing the drama?
Not tonight.
Fair enough.
I think we've an hour and a half is probably the longest we've ever had for
Right. Love a chat, girl.
We love a yarn. It's always fun. But I think, yeah, look, guys, if there is someone you're concerned about, or if you're concerned about your own behavior, reach out. Follow one of the links that I'm going to share later on. Aurum, thank you so much for joining tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a really good time.
Thank you, baby. All right, everyone, have a good night. Look after yourselves and keep on sinning so that we can keep this going.
And don't you waste that fucking cum, otherwise I'll find you and tell you how disappointed I am. Okay?
Don't waste the fucking drop. No. All right. Good night, everybody. Bye.